My name is DeSouza. I was an FBI special agent for 25 years. One of the things that I notice at the FBI and in any law enforcement group really is that they are demonstrative of the larger rule that there's always a percentage in any segment that demonstrate these extraordinary powers, these extraordinary abilities, 5, 6, 7%. Luckily for us, they save extraordinary numbers of people's lives using those abilities. I think what sets these people, this segment of the population, what sets them apart from everyone else is that they have some kind of marker that designates them as having parts of their DNA activated that the majority of population doesn't have. And that's something that's evident no matter where you go in every group. There's always that segment, that remainder of people that they just activate. One of the first great experiences of the paranormal that was shared by me and hundreds of other law enforcement officers was what we called the Indigo Kids of 9/11. This was groups of little kids as young as 5, 6, 7 years old, all over the United States, that in the weeks and just days before the 9/11 terrorist attacks, they had cognitive experiences of what was going to happen. And they displayed those experiences the way the little kids would. At school, sometimes they did it with drawings, with finger paints, with arts and crafts, representing burning buildings where people were jumping out of the buildings. And no one really paid that much attention to it until 9/11 happened. And then we set up all these intel centers saying, report anything at all that occurred just before 9/11, anything suspicious, anything at all, doesn't matter what it is. And people did. People reported these little kids. They reported them as having dreams and visions and arts and crafts representing what happened on 9/11. So we had to go investigate these little kids for possible connection to terrorism and their parents. We had to go question them, and we did. And in every case, they had a vision, they had a sense, they had a remote viewing, they had something of that sort. And there was no physical explanation how they could have known. And that's the Indigo Kids of 9/11. It's very evident to me that corporations and government intel agencies are very intent on monitoring and identifying everyone who's had these anomalous experiences, because they want to identify them, because later on they're probably going to scoop them up. It's like gun registration. You got to know where the guns are so you can get them all later on.